Hello, friends! Many things in the world seem impossible, but when we get to see humans just like us doing those things we have once tagged impossible, it leaves us in awe, and we wonder, how can they possibly do that? Today, I'll tell you a fascinating story about a man named Stephen Wiltshire, known to have superhuman ability to draw a subject after seeing it just once, all from memory. So make sure not to skip any part of the video, as you'll see several other awesome miracles he has done over the years. Stephen Wiltshire was born in London in 1974. He was mute when he was a boy and could not communicate at all. By the early age of 3, he was diagnosed with autism. His father, Colvin, died in a motorbike accident that same year. Autism is a serious developmental disorder characterized by difficulty in communication and social interactions. People with autism are known to have obsessive interests in particular things, and some of them have been discovered to exhibit exceptional memory ability. Stephen happens to be one of those whose memory is beyond what we call normal. At the age of 5, Stephen Wiltshire began studying at Queen's Mill School in London. The school is known to specialize in the education of children and young people with autism. This is where he was discovered to have a particular interest in drawings. But sadly, he was not speaking, and he suddenly found a way of expressing himself through drawings. His early illustrations depicted animals and London buses. When he was about 7, Wiltshire became fascinated with sketching landmark London buildings. As he grew a bit older, he began to draw more advanced and more detailed architectural and imaginary cityscapes. He was communicating through art, the only way he could easily express himself and his thoughts at that time. The instructor saw that the boy was so interested in drawing and decided to use this to deal with his lack of verbal communication by temporarily taking away his art supplies from him so that he would be forced to learn to ask for them. What a brilliant technique that was! Fortunately, this method worked, and he was initially making sounds until he uttered his first word, paper. How interesting is it to have a child utter his very first word, paper? Quite unusual for a child that is learning to talk, right? The instructors at Queen's Mill School encouraged his drawing and helped him to learn to fully talk by the age of 9. The extreme details of his drawings and his ability to accurately put them on paper got the interest of his teachers. Soon, he began winning awards. The local press began to question how it was possible to produce such an impressive work at such an age. Amazing, right? At age 8, he landed his first commission, the sketch of Salisbury Cathedral, given to him by Prime Minister Edward Heath. He sold this art for £1,500. Following that, he made a sequence of drawings of London landmarks, one to represent each letter, that he called a London alphabet. By the age of 13, he had already published his first book of drawings. In 1987, 13-year-old Wiltshire appeared in a BBC program called The Foolish Wise Ones, in which Hugh Casson, a former president of London's Royal Academy of Arts, referred to him as possibly the best child artist in Britain. Hugh Casson introduced the teen to literary agent Margaret Hewson and helped him publish his first book, Drawings, consisting of his early sketches. One thing so remarkable about Stephen Wiltshire is not just the fact that he could produce exceptionally detailed artworks of cityscapes and buildings, but that he did many of them absolutely from his memory. He could make a detailed sketch of landscapes even after only seeing them once. This includes a panoramic piece of depicting the city of Rome and iconic structures like the Vatican and St. Peter's Cathedral. That's so unbelievable! Imagine looking at a subject just once and being to accurately represent that in a drawing, more like a camera. Isn't that what is called a photographic memory? Sometimes being autistic comes with some exceptional abilities that an average person doesn't have, although autism is a disorder. That's paradoxical, right? Stephen can look at a subject once and then draw an accurate and detailed picture of it. He frequently draws entire cities from memory, based on a single brief helicopter ride. Stephen has been able to do that on many occasions, and this has got the world talking about this exceptional ability. He has gotten so famous for this, as many of his works have been used on great occasions around the world. The following are some of his memory drawings of paranormal views of significant places of the world. 1. Stephen produced a detailed drawing of 4 square miles of London. He simply drew this after a 20-minute helicopter ride over the city. He was just allowed to sit in the helicopter and have a view of the city without a pen and paper, just his eyes to capture the city and his memory to retain the images. 2. His 19-foot-long drawing of 305 square miles of New York City is also based on a 20-minute helicopter ride. 3. In May 2005, he produced a paranormal memory drawing of the city of Tokyo, Japan, on a 32.8-foot-long, or 10-meter, canvas in just 7 days. 4. When Wiltshire took the helicopter ride over Rome, he drew it in such great detail that he drew the exact number of columns in the Pantheon. 5. In October 2009, Wiltshire made an 18-foot, or 5.5-meter, memory drawing of what he calls his spiritual home, New York City. 6. He was able to sketch the view of Manhattan, the Hudson shoreline of New Jersey, the Financial District, Ellis Island, the Statue of Liberty, and Brooklyn over 5 days. All from memory. That's so profound. Stephen has produced memory drawings of several other cities, and by far the most challenging city was Amsterdam, because of the several details he had to remember in a very short time, including the names of the building which were not easy to retain. Now, Stephen is known to draw sketches in just about 2 minutes before he carefully starts adding the details. Despite all the successes that Stephen has been able to achieve in his lifetime, he continues to draw every single day, seeking out new ways to capture the world. He has a personal motto, which is, do the best you can and never stop. Music continues to play a major role in his creative process to this day. I listen to music when I draw, he says. 60s Motown, R&B, 70s disco, and the latest charts. It helps me focus better. I also play the piano and sing, but it's just a hobby. What did you find interesting about Stephen Wiltshire? I do imagine, at times, some of the crazy stuff I would do if I possessed this unique ability. I guess you might as well have thought so too. Please share in the comment section below. We have come to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when more content, like this video, are uploaded. See you in the next video. Bye!